Hey, what's up? I am here. This is a video for. I was playing the City of Dreams mod pack collection pack from Vortex, and I actually had probably maybe 30 minutes to an hour's worth of footage recorded. This was from way back when, and I was gonna upload this just as is because at the time I was playing on like a 4K monitor and I was playing in some fairly high settings. But right now, I am on a lower grade monitor and I am processing things differently because I'm using different equipment and different software and all of this extra stuff. So right now I'm not necessarily at the leisure to do exactly what it is I want, and I plan on using that same mod pack but playing with the added DLC that came out because I've not gotten a DLC for Cyberpunk just yet because there are a handful of games that I want to finish and want to record me playing and uploading to YouTube, which is why I'm also trying to get rid of a lot of the older footage that I have. And chances are I'm going to replay through all of this and have either like one extremely long um, video of me playing through story and doing a side missions and whatnot, or have them broken down into several segments, which I'll probably do several segments of. But right now, this is just kind of like background footage while I speak because, I like to complain on YouTube for fun. It really helps to actually just get stuff spoken outward and get it out of my system, even if it's not officially out of my system. Um, this is gonna be my like not necessarily like a warning message or anything. I think they call it like a PSA, where I'm speaking just outward to anybody who's like listening or dealing with it or just wanted to speak on it. But this one is just let it go. You know what I mean? Let it go. Don't hold on to it. Move on. Get past whatever that wall is that's blocking you, whether it's work or it's school or it's something going on at your home or it's something going on with somebody else, whether it's a friendship or a relationship or friends with benefits or whatever it is that you've got going on in your life that's just keeping you from being the best version of yourself that you can be. I'd say let it go. I had a class that I took, I want to say a semester or two ago, and I have not been taking the notes that I had in that class to heart. Essentially, what we spoke about in class for a little while, we even had to read a book on it, but what we spoke about was how you reacted to certain situations. So, for example, I'll just use this just because I have some friends who are going through it, and for a while I was going through it, but it's for the most part behind me now. Relationships, right? Say it's like you and your partner, or you and your multiple partners, and you guys hit a wall, right? Things are not right, or you guys are splitting up, you guys are broken up, you guys have already broken up, whatever the case may be, whatever kind of reaction you give to that person while it is like post breakup or post fight or in like this downtime of trying to figure out how it is you're supposed to respond to somebody, whatever reaction you deliver to that person is going to determine a lot of things. It's going to determine your maturity. It is going to determine how much you care. It's going to determine basically just everything. People fake an image or they fake a personality or like they fake it to make it. But the thing is, however you actually feel deep down, that is going to end up coming out, right? You can push it down, you can hold it down, you can do whatever you want with it, but in time, it is still going to come pouring out. Whether it is in public while you're in a place that has nothing to do with however you're feeling, or you're at home and you're like to yourself and it's slowly starting to creep in, or you're at work or you're out with friends or whatever the case may be, whether you're drunk, high, just sad, or maybe you're having like the best time of your life and it just hits you right then and there like you just ran right into a wall with no kind of brace for it whatsoever. It is going to spill out one way or another, right? And it is best to get that kind of energy, that aura, that emotion out while you can. Because the longer that you hold on to it, the longer that you harbor it, the higher the chance that it is going to come out in a way that you do not want it to come out, right? It's going to embarrass you. It's going to make you look bad. It's going to make you feel bad. It's going to have all these extra effects that it probably would not have had if you would have just dealt with it when it was coming, right? So this is, yeah, let go of it, but letting go of it doesn't necessarily mean bottling it up and, just getting rid of it. These are those types of things to where you kind of just have to stomach it and just trudge through it until you're finally over it, right? Because this is not something that is just going to go away. And like I said, that goes for relationships, it goes for stuff that happens at home, it goes for stuff that happens at work, it goes for stuff that happens in your day to day, because eventually there's going to come a time where you just snap and essentially you lose it. And we all know you're not losing it. You know you're not losing it, but in that moment, how you feel is going to determine who you are and how you've grown, and if you're the bigger person, not just like in that dynamic of you and somebody else, but just overall, are you a mature, grown person who can handle like the things that people normally just cannot handle from a respective point of view? Does that make sense? You're essentially going to have to learn to just be able to tough it out and push through and set an example for other people, because if you can do it, it's like a, not a red flag, but like a spotlight for other people to know, hey, if that person can do this, if that person can do that, then I can definitely do it. You know what I mean? It's not saying that you're like the last person to be expected to be the bigger person, but it's more so, like I said, you setting an example, even if it is just you being alone, right? Because I have, and I know I'm not the only one, there are tons of people, but I know in my personal experience, whenever it comes to like me getting into like some argument with like a family member or somebody that I work with or somebody that I go to school with or somebody that I used to date, whenever it comes down to like me being able to just speak to them when things are still kind of heated, things are still kind of fresh, everybody is still kind of hurt or upset, you have to decide then that you are going to be the bigger person and not necessarily say what it is that you think you're expected to say, right? But more so say what you in the future wish you could have said. That's the way that I want to see it. And I have not been following that exactly. Emotions are a powerful thing, so they govern over how you feel, especially in the heat of the moment. But when you do have that time to calm down and think back on it all, you should look at that future version of yourself and be like, hey, me, what would you say in a situation like this? Because right now, like I want to pop off. I want to go off on this person. I want to say this. I want to say that. But there have been times where I stop myself and I'm like, hey, me, what would you have said? Because there's gonna come a time where times pass, and you probably experienced it. Times pass, and you're like, man, I wish I would have said this and this and this instead of saying this and this and this. I mean, sure, of course, I felt like saying this and this and this when it was going down, but that's only because I was actually feeling this and this and this, and I had no way of being able to say it in a healthy way. And that's somewhat of what determines your maturity. If you're able to, say what you need to say in a healthy enough way for your point to get passed across. But that's just what I wanted to go about. Also, this mod pack, this collection that I was using, lets V speak in like Japanese, which is super cool. Sorry if you didn't get to hear it. Assuming that it'll still be here once I get the DLC, I'll run it all back. You'll be able to see it. Until then, eat my balls.